Laura A. Grace here, the author of Dear Author Letters from Bookish Fangirl and Team Lines of Poetry Collection. Welcome to another clean manga recommendations video! I am super excited, not only because we are sharing another manga, but I am feeling so much better than I was last week and really excited and thankful not to be super stuffy as I film this video. Today's manga is outside of mainly my typical genre of that I read. If you saw my MangaTube tag video last week, you'll know that I love sports romance or just sport overtone kind of theme. That totally still applies, but I have been working on a story that's even outside of what I usually write. It takes place at Halloween, which I'm not a big Halloween person in general, so it's really pushing me outside my limits. Why do I bring that up? Because I was looking for a story that had like a shifter, because I was contemplating, do I want a shifter in my said story that I'm working on? My friend had suggested this manga to me, and that said manga is That Wolf Boy Is Mine. Look how pretty this cover is. Like, I have to admit, You is really adorable. I really love the font and how they have the paw print and whatnot. Like, it's just a great shogo kind of cover. That Wolf Boy Is Mine is about a young woman, Komugi, who recently transferred to Yu's high school. She moved from the city to the rural life, and she sort of has an interesting, beginning conversation with Yu where he's like, you smell nice. Now, that's a pretty odd way to first be introduced to somebody, but once she sort of gets over that, she's like, oh, things are still gonna be great, but then she catches him sleeping underneath the tree, and he has a wolf tail, and he has wolf ears. That's definitely not supposed to happen. So begins her story with Yu, where she finds out that he's not exactly like everybody else, and neither are his friends. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have complained more than once that I could not find clean manga, and let me tell you, more and more that myth is getting debunked. That Wolf Boy Is Mine is a perfect example. In fact, I was shocked how clean this story was. It is a very slow, casual romance. In fact, it was a little bit too slow at me for times. The artwork, however, is stunning. I feel like the art just sort of makes up for how slow I felt the story progresses. But there was so much good and deep stuff in this story. It says that it's a Beast Boy comedy perfect for fans of Fruits Basket. Now, I haven't personally read Fruits Basket. This didn't really remind me of what I've seen. I don't know, I've never actually seen Fruits Basket or read the manga, so that could be why, but I don't know, I didn't feel this was a hardcore comedy. It was more of a definitely slice of life, easygoing romance, as well as a friendship blooming. So not only did I mention that the romance was sort of slow, but that was part of why this manga really surprised me, is because I felt like there's a little bit of insta-love there, but the romance is really nice. It's slow, yes, but because it's not rushing into this romance right away, and they're really starting to get to know each other as friends, that was just amazing. I really appreciated having a story for sort of a change where we just have this slow friendship that's blooming between these guys, between Komugi and Yu. At least I am hoping, okay? I'm hoping that it will be a said romance. I'm gonna warn right now that if you read this book, you need book 2. Go ahead, when you get volume 1, go pick up volume 2, because there has a really big cliffhanger at the end of this story, and I was pretty shocked. Here things are happening, good things are happening, and then we have that ending. And I am sort of I need to know what's going to happen in the second volume. I'm really hoping that my library picks it up, because I would like to know what set events are going to be occurring next. But that is before, as I was saying. So I really hope that it's going to be a blooming romance. They're sort of going from, I felt, acquaintances to friends to hopefully what will be a romance. I mean, it is called That Wolf Boy Is Mine. He is a wolf boy. There doesn't leave much room for anything else, in my opinion. But as always, there has to be some problems or some tension that comes in. And oh my goodness, yes, there was tension, and I liked it, but at the same time, I didn't like it, because this said person is causing problems for the ship. And I don't like when people cause problems for the ship. So it sort of needs to stop. But the thing is it adds a humorous aspect to the story, which I actually really did like, and I feel like it makes the friendship between Yu and Komugi deeper. than if it wasn't there. And that is where another exciting aspect comes into this story. Yes, this is a romance, but what I really, really loved about That Wolf Boy Is Mine is while Komugi could have been a love-filled, obsessed kind of heroine, she's not. She's cautious and she's kind and she's very thoughtful. And that plays really into this when you find out the story of the shifters or the wolf, you and his friends of there's some strife between them and humans, and you find out exactly why. I think why the romance is slower paced is because Komugi is awesome, and instead of obsessing about you and her feelings for you, she decides she's going to sort of show that humans are not as bad as they have been led to believe, especially this one certain character. And I love that. It was a great message and just an unexpected aspect of the story that I did not expect to come into play whatsoever. I came in thinking we're going to have a funny romance, a beautiful romance, and yes, I got some of that, but this deeper message just resonated with me of looking past people's skin or looking past the exterior and deeper into their heart. Yes, like that is a message I can 100% support, and it was actually why I gave this book 4 stars instead of probably 3 because of how slow paced it was. But that message delivers, and I feel like it's one that we need more of in manga. We can have great romances, we can have awesome heroines and heroes, we can have all the shipping, but throw in a fantastic message like this manga did, and boom, I am officially sold, and I'm gonna want more of this manga because of that. And not only that, but I hope it continues to do this in the upcoming volumes. I mean, granted, they're already released, but still, I hope that it continues that theme and those messages as the story progresses. Also, I also hope that it continues to do the Japanese folklore. There are some great notes at the end of the manga. Look at all these. These are translation notes, and some of these they're not all related to the folklore, but I love that. I love that. I learned so many cool little, inside tidbits to the Japanese folklore that I just was completely fascinated by. I'm not a big fan for folklore in general, but it was just so beautifully well done in this story, and I absolutely loved how it played a huge overarching part to the whole thing. That was just something I did not expect again. There were so many surprises with this manga, and why I enjoyed it, why I loved it, and why I want book 2. As I said before, even though the ending has a cliffhanger, I really like the new development that sort of happened, except for the sad ending. I didn't like that part. But leading up to that part, I really, really liked, and I definitely cheered and was just like, oh yeah, this is it. You guys tell them, do your thing. It was totally fantastic. So I highly suggest getting volume 2. I highly recommend That Wolf Boy Is Mine. It is a perfect clean manga for fans that like Fruits Basket, that like romance, that like deeper messages that go beyond just our main character shipping and being totally adorable and hoping that said ship sails. I also recommend it if you like reading about Japanese folklore or just wolf boys. Definitely check it out. It's a great manga. There was no language. There's nothing that was sort of I don't know about this kind of thing. Very, very good. I look forward to getting the 2nd volume. If you have read That Wolf Boy Is Mine, totally let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Let me know if you have continued to read the series and if you would recommend it, what your thoughts were. I would love to hear from you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!